Welcome back, everyone, to another Bloodline video. It's your boy, Steven Ryan, back at it with part 2 of our QBs to buy, hold, and sell. This time we are doing the NFC. Last time, if you haven't checked it out, I'll tag it up top. We did the AFC and talked about those quarterbacks. Today's the NFC. We're going to get into it. In case you didn't watch our last video, just a rundown, we do give the most athletes the optic hollow prices in Raw and PSA 10, and then the signature version of those cards in PSA 10 and Raw. For the cards, or for the players who debuted before 2016 or 15, we do Topps Chrome, and then the rookies are just whatever. We don't have prices on those because it's so much is changing right now. So let's talk about our first quarterback, and that is the Cowboys quarterback, America's team.
Yep.
Dak Prescott, our team.
Dak Prescott, like maybe a Super Bowl champ. Or
maybe probably
never.
not. Probably not.
I think for me, it's definitely. I think it's a sell. A sell for Dak. I mean, I love him, but I don't think he'll ever win a championship. He's just to me, he just doesn't have that caliber in him. So I think we'll just be short every single time.
Yeah, I think I'll probably find one of his cards, just the PC.
Yeah.
Just sake of having it. But if you're not a Cowboys fan, I wouldn't invest in Dak thinking he's going to win 2 Super Bowls with the Cowboys. I think I won't say he's peaked yet, but it feels like he's there. If not, no, I feel like his best years were his first couple years. Maybe he has gone downhill. But for me, he's sell. Or hold for PC, sell otherwise. Well, bless you.
Yep.
So let's get into our NFC East rival, Daniel Jones. Now, the Giants, I think, made a little bit of improvements. Daniel's been a solid quarterback, but at those prices, it's almost buy just there is. But I just don't think Daniel has what it takes to win with the Giants.
No, I mean, I definitely think Daniel Jones is a sell. I think he's a stepping stone until somebody else comes along and takes over the position. I mean, he's just kind of there filling a spot, I feel like. So, to me, he's a sell if you have him. So,
yeah, that's what I think. I think the NFC East is too talented for so many quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Speaking of the NFC East, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, I mean,
I think he's a buy if you can get him.
Yeah, he's a buy. He's definitely a buy if you can get him. Definitely agree with that.
125 for an optic hollow, 350 for a PSA 10. Now, this was mid-August prices. Football season's right around the corner. I'm sure they're up a little bit. The Eagles, they look good. I think they've lost some key pieces, but they will contend for the division title. It'll be either them or the Cowboys winning the division title.
Yeah, and I think they definitely have a team that they've already built around that's already pretty good. If they keep on holding on to players, they'll be contenders for the NFC.
Definitely. So he's a buy. As much as I don't want to buy an Eagle as a Cowboys fan, he plays too well not to have some stake in him. Sam Howell. I don't know why I said his name that way, but of the Washington Commanders, his rated rookie's only $15.
It's pretty cheap.
I think
again, I don't know much about him. I know he's playing pretty good in preseason at the moment, but
it is preseason.
It is Washington. It is the Washington Commanders. Not really. I just don't see it happening anytime soon. He could be their quarterback for the future. He could turn out and surprise me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also like $15. It's worth the gamble.
I did that with Jacob Eason a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I got one of his select tri-color numbered cards for like $15 just in case.
Yeah.
Didn't pan out, but I got it just in case.
For me, it's kind of just. It's kind of like a hold, a little bit sell, just because I just don't know much about Sam Howell. I think he only played a little bit, but I mean, his prices are cheap. So if you want you gambling man, then take a chance.
There you go. Now moving from the east to the north. I wasn't sure what card was coming next because I almost said south. Justin Fields. Now, Chicago's went out and got some more pieces. I think they have DJ Moore.
Yep.
Who else? They got Mooney already. They have Cole Kmet in tight end. Yeah. I think they're just missing really because Robinson's not there. David Robinson, or the running back's gone. Montgomery. I think he left. But they really just need a running back.
They still have Khalil Herbert.
Oh yes, that they do. They have, I think, a mediocre offensive line. But Fields, he has so much potential and he's such a weapon with his legs. You just at $40, even if it goes up to 50, 60. I think Fields, he has a future, and it might not be with Chicago if Chicago doesn't put a team around him. He might have to be one of those guys who jumps to another team and has a better shot at winning a title, but I think Fields, you got to buy it as prices.
Yeah, I agree. At the price,
I mean, an
hollow
auto.
What he showed, and as long as they keep on putting pieces around him, especially a line, I think it'll be interesting, pretty fun to watch. It's like there's not really many people in their division that
no, they're in a weak division this year.
That gives me like they're just in a weak division.
Yeah. Speaking of the weak division, Jared Goff. I think Goff's peaked, even though I think the Lions will be better this year. They should be better this year, and I would like to see how Goff does with a more improved Lions team who could possibly compete for the division title with how weak the division is. So, for me, it's hold. I would just do nothing with it. If I had Goff cards, I'd just do nothing with it. It's a cool story, but
if you have Goff, if you like him, if you want to piece him, I say buy him, PC him pretty low. Yeah. Otherwise, I say sell. I think the Lions will end up probably drafting a quarterback within the next 2 years.
Yeah. I say sell.
So to me, he's a sell, just because I don't see him being around very much longer. But he is putting up numbers.
He's a good quarterback. He's just been unlucky.
So
Jordan Love, someone who has shined a little bit this offseason. Prices went up, our face is blocking them a little bit. Maybe I could lower it. But raw 45, and then PSA 10 165. And he's been. I'll say this: Green Bay has had 2 franchise quarterbacks over the last 30 years. Can they make it 3 in the next, or make it 1 in the next 10 or 15 years with Love? I don't know if he's Aaron Rodgers good, but somehow Green Bay gets lucky with their franchise quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, man's been sat behind Rodgers a couple of years. Probably definitely learned a lot.
Yeah.
Haven't watched any of the preseason games or if he's even played. But
he has. He's been pretty decent.
I think overall, he's probably worth the gamble to pick up at the price. So to me, he's a buy.
He's definitely a buy.
So
because it's worth. He's playing well, and I would love to see. I can't wait for the season.
It's also just I think again with the division, with it being so I guess mainly wide open with anybody. So that for those reasons, I think it's a buy.
Yeah, same. So going to the last team in this division, Kirk Cousins. Sell.
Kirk Cousins, yeah, I agree. He's a sell. Unless you're a big Kirk Cousins fan, big PC, unless you enjoy.
Is there such thing? Is there such thing as a big Kirk Cousins fan? Tell us, Minnesotans.
Or if you're a fan of the new TV show QB that came out. I
haven't watched that yet.
I
need to.
I think they are the strongest contenders for that division. They definitely have the better team.
Yeah, but now they're missing
weapons. But
Thielen.
It's just whether Kirk Cousins is
Mr. Inconsistent.
Yeah, he's just inconsistent. What is he? He can't perform primetime.
I think he's 0 for something in Monday night games or Sunday night games. And
so
0 for 8. So
with that, it's when it comes to Super Bowls and winning playoff games, you gotta play when the lights are on and shine bright.
That's when you make your money, and he's not doing it.
So,
well, let's go over to the South. Desmond Ridder, another team. Atlanta's supposed to improve this year. And he was not the quarterback last year. Who was the quarterback last year?
Marcus Mariota started.
That's right. Then Mariota was. Then he kind of came in. Yeah,
I think either I can't remember if he got injured or he just started performing bad. But one of the two happened, or maybe a combination of both. But yeah, I think Desmond Ridder's a buy. I have high hopes for the Atlanta Falcons offense. I think. They're really young. They got weapons. If Desmond Ridder just performs decent,
they should win the division.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. You can't say Fields is a good quarterback who had no weapons. Desmond Ridder is going to have the weapons, so we're really going to see what he can do.
Yeah.
And
the only other team that gives me a scare. Derek Carr looks good on the Saints.
Derek Carr plays. He plays consistently too.
Yeah.
Not quite good enough to win, divisions, but. You never know in this weak division he could.
Yeah, but Desmond Ridder a buy. Desmond Ridder is
for me. He's a hold. I want to see what he does the first couple weeks. I'd rather pay a little more and see and have him build a little bit of a rapport than take that gamble on him. Especially since I'm gambling on other cards already. So Bryce Young moving over to the Panthers.
Bryce Young. I think for a majority of the rookies, for me they're a hold. I think rookies are definitely a big. If you pull them. I think you sell them at their peak. But I don't know about football cards, so
yeah,
it'll be interesting.
This is, we recorded part 1 before Panini lost the license from the NFLPA to print cards. So now a lot of these rookies are up in the air, and I didn't get a chance to edit that video, further before it came out. So, with all that's going on, honestly, it's you gotta hold, because Panini's still releasing products with players and names and images and likeness and all that fun stuff. So honestly, I'll say this: when his rookie cards start coming out, whether it's for Panini or Topps, I would plan on chasing him.
Yeah, I mean,
even though I'm not a big fan of the Alabama QBs, but
I think is Carolina's not going to be good this year. They're rebuilding. It's going to take a year, maybe 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a Justin Fields situation with the Panthers.
Yeah, so
Fields has been dealing with the last.
It's going to be interesting to watch Bryce Young. Maybe he'll shine. He'll have moments.
And definitely will.
As long as you see spurts and moments of him being good and being competitive, then
should be good.
He should be good.
Should be good. Let's see. Moving on.
If not, then you just start selling.
Yeah. I mean, what is there to sell at this point? Derek Carr.
I mean, like I said, I think with the Saints offense and all their weapons, I think that he's going to be good. But I think he's at the tail end of his career.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll win a Super Bowl. So to me, he's a sell.
And the Saints are so injury prone.
And especially if they start off hot with their division, I think you start selling Derek Carr. Just because, just get your high money for him. And
for real.
So
I think Tampa Bay. So this should be Kyle Trask, right?
No, Baker.
Did we have Kyle Trask?
No, because Baker's starting.
Baker starting for Tampa?
Yeah.
Oh. So. Anyways, let me show the prices. Optic Pro 17, PSA 1070. I was buying into Baker a couple years ago before he left Cleveland, and he fell flat on his face.
Yeah.
Especially when they got Amari and they had weapons around him, and I know he played injured, but he's a sell. Yep. And I thought Kyle Trask was going to be playing.
I agree. Yeah, I thought so too, but I forgot that they have Baker in him. So Baker's a starter. So not Kyle Trask yet.
Lame. So. That means Kyle Trask is not on this list, and I even proofread this, and it never occurred to me that Trask wasn't on this list. So moving over to the West, Kyler Murray, I think, is a sell. Cardinals are probably getting ready to go into a rebuild, losing a lot of their guys. Watt retiring. Hopkins, I think DeAndre Hopkins is.
He's on. He left. He got signed by somebody else.
He's no longer with the team. I mean, I don't know what weapons he has. Kyler just, even when he had weapons, he wasn't performing. Talented QB, but he can't put it together for some reason.
Very
for me,
talented.
he's a don't bother and Well, for me, since I invested in some of his cards, it's just dump him and move on.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
I mean, he's good. I completely forgot that he got injured last year, so that's why he didn't play the second half of the season.
Yeah, he did.
But a man, when he's
a guy I want to root for, given that he's a hometown guy. I mean, you played against him in high school, so
yeah. So, but I think, like you said, to me he's a sell. I just don't think that Arizona's going to have a team to compete.
No, they'll be last in the West. I think they'll.
So
be
within
last.
this, and also within the division, and just they got to play the 49ers constantly.
49ers
are
good.
He's a sell. Kyler Murray, so.
Yeah, Stafford.
Honestly,
I think he's just a whole Super Bowl champion. I mean, I don't think his cards are going to go up anymore. No. Probably solidified himself into the Hall of Fame.
I think so.
Possibly not first ballot for sure.
No,
but for me, you got to hold on to Stafford. Yeah. He's a fun story. He tried to make it with the Lions, couldn't do it, so finally was able to go to a team where they were able to put it together and win a Super Bowl. So I was rooting for him. I would buy a Stafford card.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford, he'll be. I think he'll retire soon, within next year, maybe 2. So
yeah, definitely.
So because of that, he's a hold. He's good PC. He'll be around football for quite a while. So
yeah, I'm sure we'll see him in the coaching role.
Yeah, we'll
maybe
see.
Commentating.
Maybe I was thinking maybe commentating. But yeah.
All right, moving on. Geno Smith to Seattle before we finish off with the 49ers. So Geno surprised last year and is stupid cheap. At least he was a couple weeks ago. I'm sure they come up a little bit, but
Yeah, there's not many. His cards are a little bit harder to come by, harder to find with Topps Chrome and stuff.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And there's not really many. I could not find any like refractor autos. These were all basically like he had the card, somebody autographed it on top of a refractor.
They might not have done real like refractor autos back then.
Yeah.
So but for me, Gino's I guess he's a hold. Yeah, because you want to see what he does. He's not quite a Super Bowl contending quarterback. He's definitely talented. He's smart. He knows what he's doing to run an offense, but the talent's not all there. So I can't. Yeah, Seattle doesn't really have a good enough team to win that West. So
yeah. I mean, to me, he's definitely not a buy. If you have him, you want to root for him, hold it. Otherwise, I mean,
at that price, it's just a hold. Yeah,
yeah.
Just ain't a card. Yeah. It's more of a cool story of career backup coming in and surprising the Seahawks.
Yeah.
But getting on to our final teams, that we will talk about both Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. So first we're going to talk about Trey Lance. News came out the other day that he is going to be the third string behind Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy. So what does that mean? That means he's not going to be on the Niners much longer, I can see.
No.
I think they're going to try to trade him. I think people are going to call people like... Seattle might want someone to back up Geno. I don't remember who their backup is. I could see Houston maybe calling for a backup, but maybe not because they just drafted C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm. I could see the Titans.
The Titans maybe, but they just drafted somebody. Who knows? I mean, so people are going to be calling. I could see the Bucks calling if Baker doesn't work out and they don't like what they see in Kyle Trask. I could see the Bucks calling.
Yeah.
So yeah, Trey Lance, he's.
It's hard. I think
now's a good time to buy because here's my explanation. I think good time to buy. There's going to be a dip, especially with the news coming out. He's going to be third string. He's going to likely get traded somewhere. I can't see him wanting to stay as the third string on 49ers. So it might not be before the season. It might be the first week or two, and he's going somewhere to learn a system and to back up someone who might be in question, like Baker, or even Arizona.
Yeah, maybe Arizona. Maybe
the Raiders, Oakland. If Jimmy G doesn't quite work out, or not Oakland, it's not Vegas.
Or I don't know who the backup is at Detroit, but
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor's pretty old.
He is old, but he's a good quarterback. He's just injury prone. But yeah, I can see people calling who might not see their stock or valuable draft picks coming up, and they want maybe a solid backup. So I would buy it just because this is one I would gamble on. I said I wouldn't gamble on what's his face earlier, but
yeah,
I'd gamble on this one.
Yeah, I definitely think.
Especially oh my gosh,
it's going to be definitely.
We have some of his cards too, and we should have sold a year ago.
Yeah.
That was.
It's gonna be a hold buy until we figure out. But I definitely think he's gonna get traded, and he'll either be a starter or a backup.
Yeah.
At someplace else.
So now our last QB on this list, Brock Purdy, who is named Week 1 starter after tearing his UCL last year. Mm-hmm. A little surprising. Now I think I don't think he's a buy. I think he had a great story last year. There was a lot of hype around him, but I think he'll come down a little bit. I think. People underestimate what it takes to come back from a UCL injury. He's not going to be himself the first few weeks or even the first couple months. He might pick back up later in the year, but I can't see him getting out the gate like he did last year. So for me, he's a sell. He's a sell because I think he'll struggle, and you might see Sam Darnold in there.
I'm gonna go with I think because of the story and it's just like it's a storybook. To me, I think he's a buy. I can just see it just working out, and everything just going perfectly and stuff. So I can just be it like being
optimist
like
over here.
Storybook, like
optimist
going along. Like Tom Brady, last round pick gets put in the forms. Nah, all
right.
Well, NFL's writing those scripts. They're like, we need another one.
we need more Purdy.
So,
but Well, that's our QB buy, hold, and sell. Let us know what you think down below in the comments. Who are you buying, holding, selling? Tell us who we got right and who we got wrong in your opinion. But that'll do it for this video. Until next time, y'all. We'll catch you later.